Imagine a world without sea otters, gray wolves, or bald eagles. The Endangered Species Act has been a lifeline for these and countless other species at risk of extinction. The ESA is a vital law that protects vulnerable species and safeguards biodiversity, but it's facing ongoing challenges and it needs our support. Did you know the air you breathe, the food you eat, and even the medicines that you rely on are all connected to species that are protected by the Endangered Species Act? What we may never see a gray wolf in the wild or a leatherback sea turtle on a beach, but their existence has a ripple effect on the world around us, even here at home. Whether it's the wetlands that help protect our communities from flooding, or the pollinators that help our crops grow, every species has a significant role to play in life around us. First, I will discuss the Endangered Species Act and why it's so important. Next, I will go over some achievements and success stories of the ESA. Lastly, I will explain the threats towards the Endangered Species Act and why it needs our support. Established in 1973, the Environmental Protection Agency aims to protect endangered species and other species that are threatened with extinction and to conserve the ecosystems that they rely on. The Act has legal authority to prevent activities that threaten listed species and to allocate resources for their protection. Diverse ecosystems such as forests and wetlands act as carbon sinks, helping mitigate climate change by absorbing carbon dioxide. The ESA's role in preserving such habitats plays a big role towards global climate stability. Biodiversity is crucial for human well-being as it contributes to, since healthy ecosystems contribute to clean air, water, and other resources that we require on a daily basis. Now that we understand the importance of the Endangered Species Act, we can take a look at the impact it has had on the survival of certain species. Species like the bald eagle, the American alligator, and the gray wolf have all been brought back from the brink of extinction due to the protections of the Endangered Species Act. One of the ESA's most impactful actions was the reintroduction of gray wolves into areas where they had become almost completely extinct. For example, in 1995 and 1996, wolves were reintroduced to Yellowstone National Park and Central Idaho. These programs were directly funded and managed under the ESA. Thanks to the ESA, the gray wolf populations in the Northern Rockies, Great Lakes, and Pacific Northwest have made significant recoveries. For instance, in Yellowstone, the population grew from about 10 wolves to more than 100 in less than a decade. That's a pretty good increase. The Act not only helps specific species, but it also helps entire ecosystems, which impact countless other forms of life. According to the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, over 99% of species under the Endangered Species Act have been saved from extinction. Despite all of these successes, the Endangered Species Act still faces some major challenges that threaten its ability to protect at-risk species. Political and financial pressures are weakening the ESA, with funding cuts and legislative changes that effectively reduce its reach. Climate change, habitat destruction, and pollution have all intensified, creating an urgent need for stronger ESA protections. In 2019, public backlash helped halt proposed changes that would weaken ESA protections by prioritizing economic considerations over the survival of certain species. Support and awareness are vital as public voices have major influence on policy decisions that safeguard this critical act. As we reflect on all these challenges, we must come to terms with the fact that the future of endangered species and the ecosystems that they inhabit depend on the strength of the Endangered Species Act. To preserve the future of our planet's biodiversity, it is imperative that we support the Endangered Species Act. The ESA is a crucial law that protects at-risk species and the ecosystems that they inhabit. It has successfully saved numerous species from extinction and protected entire ecosystems. However, current threats and pressures are jeopardizing the Act's ability to continue its work. The Endangered Species Act is an essential safeguard for biodiversity, but it needs our support to remain effective. Our future is intertwined with the fate of these endangered species. By standing up for the Endangered Species Act, we are not only saving animals, we are preserving the balance of life on Earth for our future generations. Thank you.